Hi, I'm Jack. I'm 16. I'm 10. I work at UC. I do data entry. I do lyrics. I have a copy. I started a job.
I'm Jan Kruger, I'm Jack's mum. We were really interested in Jack doing a school-based apprenticeship in year 11 and 12. So we wanted Jack to do a few different work experiences to help us understand where his interests were, because we wanted him to have the best chance of finding paid employment, full-time paid employment once he leaves school. And we thought the school-based apprenticeship was a nice pathway for that to happen. Jack has a circle of support, and all the members of the circle of support explored their workplaces to look for opportunities for Jack to do some work experience. Tom works at the University of Canberra as a lecturer, and he found an opportunity for Jack to do some work experience.
So it all began when Jack and his family came to us and asked about potentially doing some work experience with the Faculty of Health at the University of Canberra. And my initial thought was, well, why not? Why don't we just have a go and figure out how we can get some meaningful and valued roles at the faculty for Jack to do. I needed to seek some permission and approval from our business manager, just to float the idea past them and make sure that all of the proper human resources were maintained, and that we ensured that everyone was safe and all of the legal requirements were met. And that was a very simple process because the systems were relatively in place at the university, which is great. And we just needed to have a team who was willing to try it and provide some ideas around how we could make some really valued work experience for Jack. So once we had the initial approval from business managers and the senior staff, it was really important that we met with the family. And in the meeting with Jack and his family, it was great because the family brought some information around what Jack's interest areas were and his skills that he would be able to demonstrate during work experience. And that helped us open the discussion around what were some of the roles and the tasks that Jack could complete while doing work experience at the university. We said, well, what would a typical work experience look like? And we started there, and I think that was really important. And I think if we started looking at it from Jack, a person with disabilities, it would have been set up incorrectly.
We spoke directly to Tom, who was a lecturer at the University of Canberra, so we had good communications as to what days Jack was working and what tasks he would be doing. Jack has a job coach, Julia, who we employ through Jack's NDIS funding, and she stays with Jack to support him in the tasks throughout the day. We tried to set a bit of a schedule and routine for Jack because we thought that that was going to be really important for the success of Jack's work experience. What we learnt was that Jack didn't actually need set tasks for the day, but what he did need is he needed to know what people he needed to go and see to get the tasks. So that was great because it gave him a variety of different tasks to do, but he had the security of knowing which people he was going to go and see to get the jobs that he needed to do that day. We also trialled using an app that both Tom, Jack, Julia and I all had on our phones. So Tom could upload the different tasks and who Jack needed to go and see to actually get the jobs each day, and then Jack could tick them off as he completed them on the day. We wanted to make the most of Jack's work experience by testing potentially like how many hours he could work in the day. So the University of Canberra were really flexible around that. We also tested working 2 days in a row. We tested Jack doing 2 half days compared to a full day. We also were able to test whether Julia, his job coach, could fade the support at any point, particularly if he could be working alongside the University of Canberra staff. We also looked at different ways Jack could travel to work. So he caught the bus, he rode his bike, and he also went via car. What was really important was having good communication between the University of Canberra staff and ourselves. It didn't all go smoothly, so whenever we hit sort of any rocky patches, we could talk through it. What was really important was to really understand when things were going well for Jack and when they weren't, and put things in place that would improve the work environment for him when it wasn't going well. We really tried to get an understanding of the culture of the workplace there, so we understood that all the staff try and have lunch together. So we made sure we lined up the work experience so Jack would then finish the day having lunch with all the staff. That then led to building relationships, and we believe that has influenced Jack getting paid employment there for an ASBA next year.